Uh, we're live.
Yep.
So it's the Three Musketeers. Hooray! So
Temple of Moustache.
yeah. Hey, we have.
Handlebar. Temple of Handlebar.
Yeah, I like it when a plan comes together. So let me introduce this meeting real short to recap what has happened. Basically, in November, December, we had some meetings about sort of early stage ideas for the Temple of Nowhere this year. A lot of concepts were pitched there by different people with great ideas. Also, the whole concept of the Temple of Self was decided back then, and then basically we went together to work on a design with a small group of people locally here in Amsterdam, because it's easier to just sit together and work on designing things and putting all the concepts together and see where it leads. And now is the moment of showing this to the larger community, which is basically now the three of us. And see what the feelings are, because it's easier to talk about concrete specific designs, which is now there. So yeah, I'm interested what the design does to you and what thoughts and feelings come up.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm still. Everybody's still here. Hello. Okay, so apparently Dante just muted his thing, but you can keep talking, Coco.
Max, let's start with you.
I don't have much to say. I really liked the design. That when you so I've seen the design for the first time last week.
Yeah.
Because we were talking with Coco on Skype, and it was I'm going to do that. And then Coco said, "Oh wow, what you bring the Temple to Boom?" And it was a great idea. We basically hope on that at the very last minute, according to the deadlines of Boom Festival, we submitted just minutes before the submission time was over, and we don't know if it's been accepted or not. They're reserving some time up to May 31st to give a confirmation. I have received an automated confirmation that this project has been regularly submitted. So we know they now have it on file. Let's see what happens. So if they like the idea of having a temple at Boom coming from a Burning Man community and possibly hosting, some healing practitioners, is going to be packed this year at Boom. That will be fantastic. In this case, even if we don't have, if our team doesn't have tickets to Boom, we requested to have artist pass for about 10, 12 people. So let's see what happens. Besides of this, I don't have anything more to say. If not, that by coming back to Monegros next week, game is still open for me to just to finalize and have confirmed everything about the post placement. As for that, I just would like to listen from you guys talking about structure, design, possibly budgeting. And it will be really interesting to figure out that we do have a team of people, because all these meetings were always just me, you, and Dante, and just very little people is really participating. We're already in March. Technically, in 3 months, we're already there building.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a little bit the same last year.
Yeah, okay. But besides this, I really don't have much to say. To Boom. Starting from next week, I'll keep trying to secure the placement. As for the rest, I really want to hear, latest from Amsterdam, the design sections, and I really would like to hear from you.
Yeah, nice. There's another question that I have specifically for you.
I'm looking over there because I put Skype on the other thing, but I realized it's weird. My face.
I'm hearing myself now on feedback. Oh no, it's gone. Okay. So basically, I've been discussing this already with Dante. In the latest design, the entrance basically is someone sitting in a meditation pose, and Dante was asking the question whether maybe that would sort of violate a certain neutrality that the temple should have, perhaps. So what I'm trying to do specifically is keep the temple away from any religion, but I do see the temple as a spiritual place, and we thought it would be nice aesthetically to have you basically enter yourself through the door entrance. So that's why we thought it would be nice to have someone sitting in meditation pose. But then Dante said that maybe this is a specific way of being uninviting to people that do not like meditation or see meditation closely linked to certain religions. So he wanted to basically discuss this more thoroughly, which I understand. And I was interested what your thoughts are on this.
I don't know. I see the temple being a space for it's a multi-purpose space.
Yeah,
we certainly use for my own meditations, but especially if we do all the interaction, sound design for the columns. Some people might even treat it just like another art installation. Some other people might come to get married. Some other, they might just crash after a Ubertown party. We cannot really just, it's not a church, so it's not like real sacred spaces. So everybody, feels the sacrality of the space according to his own vibes. And I would like to leave it open that way. I don't think that having somebody sitting in a meditating position will be, scary for people to. I don't understand the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Good.
Well, to me, any design is good. Like I really want to see it happening and contributing for the build. But I really want to see the design finalized. Mostly because I needed to get the permit later for the placement. But as for the rest, I totally trust you guys. So
Good.
anything you want to input, it's good to me.
Nice. Okay, thanks. Yeah, well, of course, I mean, we've already been in touch in between a little bit, the two of us. So I knew your opinion about this already a little bit.
Dante died.
Yeah.
Oh, Volt is here. I love brother.
I mean, this. Hello.
Hello to you,
motherfucker.
Hello.
Let's see when his connection kicks in. He's muted.
It is muted.
He is muted. He keeps us on edge.
But he's not muted anymore.
He's not muted.
And he seems like he's talking. He's got like the LED thing going on.
Yeah.
But we can't hear you, but we want to hear from you. So why don't you?
He left. He disappeared.
Oh, this is incredible. That's fucking virtual stuff. People appear to be there, but after all, it's not.
This Friday, I'm sitting down with Jim to make the budget for the build, and I'll be sending it to Ugo also. Do you have like good connections with Madeiras Planas?
Yes, I know them very well.
Okay, great. Because
Yeah, I know them personally. We've been there last year also to buy shit. We remember we went to me
yeah,
and Arlo.
yeah. And was this also the place where the all of the construction materials, all of the wood was purchased?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We can definitely get the material from Maderas Planas. Is very close and is the less expensive in the entire Monegros, and transportation costs are very low because it comes from Barbastro. I vote. We can see you now.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Oh,
me? Wait,
yeah. I can totally hear you.
hear me? Yes, yes. Hello. I'm so sorry
Yes.
that I'm so late. I'm still at work
Yeah, I see it, man.
but I'm here. I'm here. Yay, yes.
No, I thought you had a very minimal apartment, house design.
With Intel posters everywhere.
Yep, yeah, indeed. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. How's Barcelona treating you?
Terrible.
Really?
Yes, look at my smell. It's horrible over here.
Fucker.
I want to go back. Yes. No, I think I have made the best choice in my life to move over. I
Nice.
can't say I haven't done better things with my life than making this choice. Yeah.
This is amazing. Now your next best choice in life is gonna be when you decide to catch a train and come visit me in the Monegros.
Now I'm gonna surprise you, but I'm gonna take the train this weekend and I'm gonna come over and
No,
give you a
I'm not
big
gonna
hug.
be there this weekend. I'm in
Ah,
Rome.
joder.
Oh no, I'm coming.
No,
I'm coming back with the boat Wednesday next week, but I'm going to Valencia to see Arlo and do the fallas, and then from Valencia on Sunday I drive back to Monegros. So I'm gonna be back home at the end of next week after going to the fallas. If you come to Valencia for the fallas, you can come back with me to Monegros.
I just wanted to say exactly the same. I'm gonna come with you to the fires, and then I'm gonna join you back to the Monegros.
Yeah, Arlo, as you know, Arlo is with special lady friend Tina, so it's gonna be a nice situation.
Yeah, it sounds a very good idea. Hey, but let's not disturb this meeting. How are you doing with the temple? I saw a design. I'm in love. I'm in love.
Yay.
It's
Nice.
amazing. Really, really, really amazing. Yeah. So
Okay, great.
yeah, yeah, and I actually want to ask you if you would like to have me in the build, at least
Yes.
in the pre-build, and because I'm doing a small art installation myself at this moment, if that's approved, the build on the site, I will probably most of the time be busy with doing the foremanship of that. But the pre-build, I would love to come and help you guys.
Yeah, lovely. Of course, do it.
Yes, and also maybe you already seen this, but we're pre-building the temple in Santa Iena. This time we have a beautiful space with bathroom, electricity, shade, everything. So we got it all, water, and then of course there's my house, there's new house with garden and everything. So if you want to work on your project in parallel, there is enough space for you to be in the same space where we build the temple, so you can build there.
Mm-hmm. Well, we considered that, and I talked through the idea, and eventually we decided to do a little party here in Barcelona for the people who are helping with creating the art installation. And
Oh,
He thought you were back.
Luke is here.
It
good
was
hippies,
without, but then
goddammit.
it appeared.
Wait, look, we got another hippie over here.
Oh, hello, hello,
Oh, look
hello.
at that! Ilse, how you doing?
She's got a toothache. She ain't doing too good right now.
Yeah,
Hey, Ilse, very happy to see you.
happy to see all of you.
Yay.
This
Yay.
is, this is the same temple crew as last year.
Yeah.
Almost all year.
Hey, guys,
Where's
hello. Did someone contact Paz already? Because Paz eventually decided to come instead of not coming.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, maybe you know, if you
Okay,
talk
I have one thing to tell you. I have one thing to tell you about a very important thing.
yeah.
So, and I know you are the man. I mean, I can do this only with you. Okay? One of the things we've been
It sounds scary to me. Could you please cut to the
no,
point?
you're fucking genius, and I don't have that skills, so that would be amazing if you can work together on this. So basically, one of the things we've been discussing about the temple, not today, in the past, was the possibility of having the columns. Having a sound design, like using some proximity sensors by the columns, and when you approach a column, you hear chimes, you approach another column, you hear a gong or other sounds. So I wanted to do that work with Andrea in Barcelona. But after the summit, European summit, bullshit leadership, we are not in good terms anymore with Andrea. So I'm not going to do that work. It's going to be all Arduino or Raspberry Pi based, and I know you're fucking genius with that stuff. Will you be interested in working with me?
Yeah, I would love it. I would love it. I actually let my brain melt in that already, and I found a mini PC which is like 20 euros or something like that you could like program with soundscapes based on a SSD card that you plug in, and through a FireWire we could like then do the peripheral sensors that it will. Yeah, we can do that definitely. But
Well,
on one condition.
If you're into it, I had like a upscale idea is that people can actually play real music with each column. And the idea I had it was that you actually have on the color 7 points of touch, one per note, and like one color is all chimes but in different notes, like A, B, C, and the other is a gong but in different notes. If you are a musician and you figure out where the touch points are, you can actually fucking play a column.
Like it.
I love it. I love it. Let's pull this out of this meeting and let's set up a meeting for that separately, so that we don't have to brainwash all the other people with our nerdy shit and stuff like that.
No, but this was a side. I think the point now is the design, and Coco, when you showed up, Coco just started giving us an update on what they discussed in Amsterdam. Coco, you want to go back to that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. So to reintroduce. Basically, we had meetings in November, December last year, in which we decided on the concept, and there was some first input ideas for the design. And then we went to sit together with 4 people in total in Amsterdam to work on getting a concrete design out there, and then getting back to the community at large, showing a more concrete design, because I notice also that when you are sitting together with a group of people so far away from another and there's nothing really concrete to talk about, it's actually hard to have these meetings. It's more easy than when you're physically together. So basically this is that moment that we have that first design, and yeah, I wanted to hear what your thoughts are and what you think and what you would like to see different or improve, or if you like it the way it is, or anything. Basically, it's just an open question.
I am in love. I am.
My only question is
so
what's the
completely.
scale? What's the size of it?
What do you want to know about the size?
The size, like how tall is it? How's the internal diameter?
Yeah, I can show it to you.
In the design you passed me, there were no such information.
Yeah. Give me a moment. Height. So let me see how sharing a screen works. Screen share. Oh, damn it.
This might not work with the slow connections.
Okay, wait.
It's okay. You can just say how tall it is.
The length, like tall from the top of the dome all the way down, is like about 6 meters.
Wow.
Nice.
And when you take the base of the temple, like all the way across, from the one far side of the floor to the other far side of the floor, is almost 10 meters.
Wow.
Good.
It's
Like it.
bigger than left.
And then, yeah, well, not necessarily, but I think what is fundamentally different is that this is a far more closed design. While last year we had a very open design. So this is more of like a shelter place. And last year there was just some shade places, but not really having sort of a space. And this is much more a space where you can also do any kind of rituals or workshops more easily. And then there is the top area where you can sit and have a more sort of private space and have a view over the entire terrain. So yeah, that's basically the thing. Is there anything more you want to know about the size, the dimensions of the thing?
That's good. Also important, as I talk back in Sardinian about the working space, just to know how much space we need.
Yeah.
Can I ask something about the materials used?
Sure.
If you look at the sides and the first part of the roofing, were you planning to do that with hard materials, or is that burlap, or?
Yeah, so that's still a little bit of an open question.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mean the panels on the top, right?
Yeah, the gray parts. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could do this with hard materials on the one end, or you could use, for example, jute. I don't know how you would describe that in English.
Jute, that's okay.
That's burlap. Yeah.
Burlap. Yeah. So that's still if you have any specific advice relating to this, I would love to hear it.
Yeah, I would really vouch for burlap. It is very light, it is very strong, and it doesn't put weight on the construction itself. At the same time, it lets wind through because it has not so big consistency, so it doesn't catch that much wind. So for the safety purpose and the constructional purpose, I would definitely go for burlap. And I am in love with the effect it has. It has the sandy, I'm disappearing in the landscape, I'm part of the landscape effect. And that is really what you've seen in 2014 with the Temple of Ascension. That was really, it was blazing. And I think the combination of the beautiful panels in the top, the colored roof panels, something, yeah. So if I could advise you, we would definitely say burlap, price-wise, transport-wise.
Yeah,
okay,
we could do that.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. Sorry, Max, go ahead.
No, if you have something, because it was about the materials. I'm always thinking about reusing the temple, replacing at boom, and then after in Castellón de Monegros for indefinite time. So how durable are the materials? And also, maybe we can discuss this later, I will also say maybe this year we should ask the temple guardians to make sure that nobody writes on the temple. The temple is a spiritual place. If you go to a Shiva shrine, you don't start writing your name on the walls. If you go to any other installation, nowhere, and you're a Burning Man, you write things on the temple because then you burn the temple. So you let go. But we're not burning that shit. We're just like taking it down, bring it to another place where it's going to host massage and Reiki sessions, and then bring it to another place where a community of local people from the Monegros will enjoy the place, not necessarily for spiritual reasons, also for aesthetic and maybe gathering point, shade, anything. So I'm thinking about can we keep it clean? Can we have the temple guardians making sure that nobody writes stuff on it? And on the other side, are the materials going to be durable enough that we can really seriously reuse that much the temple?
Can I comment on that?
Sure,
Is there a way that maybe we can layer it with something, because somebody is eventually gonna be bound to write on it?
Yeah.
So maybe if there's a way, if we can either cover it with paper or cover it with something that if somebody does write on it, afterwards we can just remove it. You know what I mean? And then the temple walls actually stay clear.
Can I tap in over here? I have a very good idea.
Since we have temple guardians in charge 24/7,
Wout has a
so
very
is it
good idea.
easier that temple guardians say like, enjoy the place, but this year we're not writing on top. Maybe if you want to let go, we might have some collector of pieces of wood where you write stuff, and then we can do a controlled fire ceremony into a burn barrel with a circle around. We can burn the shit people want to get rid of, but they don't have to write it on the temple because we need the temple to be clean.
I dig that.
What's your idea?
Can I share something? Have you ever played with a sanding machine? Like these machines you sand things with. You know how much fun. You know how fun is it? I think the transcensional and the transgressional part of leaving something behind is a quite a big element of a temple. And if you could get rid of these things we leave behind by sanding the wood very easily, you just take the machine, you wrap it around the wood, and it's gone. And in that fashion, you let actually people have the opportunity to leave something behind, and it is transformational as well. In a way, it just transforms into dust again.
Again, about last year, people have been sticking any sort of bullshit sticker on the temple. People have been writing "I love acid" or "fuck you."
Yeah,
why do we have to load our team with a farther clean up?
Two years ago, I was standing with my digger in my hand.
No, and then also the rental of the sanding machine and the time we need to do that. We can simply ask the guardians to welcome anybody. Everybody is happy to just use the space as they like, but also respect it. If they want to write something, have it burn, we're gonna burn it in a burn barrel, in a control at the end. We can put it in the center. We burn everything. If it's too much stuff, we keep putting it in here, like feeding the fire all night. But they don't have to write on the temple. They can write on piece of other support, like they do at the Monster in Milan. People write on a little piece of wood, and then the wood is thrown in the fire. It's a very cathartic. We add the burning of the sheet. We just ask that people doesn't write on the like people wouldn't write anything last year on the Beehive solution. It's not that Burning Man. There are some sculpture they have like "Do not climb" sign. It's not that art is there to interact and make it your space, but that doesn't mean you have to vandalize it.
Can I?
Sure.
I have this question, because I agree with you, but I love to disagree with agreeing, just for the mere fuck of it. So what about this statue standing there of this person meditating in the entrance of the temple?
Yeah, that's an open question also for this meeting.
Yeah, but I think it is in some way it is aligned with what has been said now, because what is for one a saying of virtue, eat my dick, or I love acid, is for the other maybe something that is confrontational and something that so in that sense it could be maybe a bit of the same question.
No, but absolutely. But if you have a place like a collector place where you can write that stuff and you can put it in a box, knowing that it's going to be burned, it works the same. It works the same.
Exactly.
But again, let's admit that people can write on shit, and then we need to get the sanding machine and clean it up. Is the material going to be durable enough, not only for the long lasting, but also technically the sanding diminish a little bit the diameter of the of the wood. So there's a little. So this is important because it's going to affect the budget. If we take in thicker, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, just skyrockets. But we need to consider that this is going to last in time. So beside of the durability and the long time standing, if you can secure also a way for us not to have to do cleanup, if we can make it clean so we can bring it from a place to another one easier, that's also a good idea.
I have two questions. I am completely for durability, sustainability, durability, reuse of materials, and the better the material, the higher the price, the more the cost, the more difficult the build of the temple. But at the same time, the more chance it makes to be rebuilt in its entire state as it was. What is the focus of that? Is the focus really on trying to get the budget that tight that we actually can make it that sustainable with reusable materials?
That's a good question, to which I might add, since we're not going to burn it, or even though we're going to burn it in the future, must it be entirely made of woods? What if we can recycle some T connectors in metals that really help the shit out of the building and of the holding of the structure? So we have wood poles with massive recycled metal connectors. It really helps a lot. I think I'm not an engineer in this kind of shit.
Good.
I totally agree. These metal connectors we can already build in Amsterdam. We have the workshop for that in Amsterdam here.
Oh, that's awesome.
So and I think when it comes to reusability, so there's a couple of plans with this. And we have not decided anything definitive on this, but like there is of course Noor Festival itself. There is placement in the Sarajevo community. There is a possibility of maybe bringing the temple to Boom, which I think is also nice in a sense of connecting to two of these communities. And there's also the question from some of the people here in Amsterdam is like, okay, if we build this beautiful temple, why should we either burn it or reuse its materials some years later? Why not giving it a more definitive place in a community that can actually take care of this?
Oh yeah, well, I think when we're gonna give it to the Monegros community, it's gonna stay there. If we're not going to burn it, then it's going to stay. I don't think we're going to come back 1 year later to take it down. So to me, if we make it durable and then we train the maintenance team of the city hall, what they have to check to make it, like anchorage and shit and stuff, yeah, we can offer it as a indefinite landmark.
There's also a community, a group of people in Portugal that I know would love to take care of this, so that's also an opportunity to place it there. But that already also depends, of course, if Boom will do anything.
Yes, I would like to say that if you think this community is got like a real good vibes and the temple really must go there, I will say, number one, maybe this community should come with us, help to build the temple in the first place.
Yeah.
One. Two, if we're going to give it to them, then I'm stopping any conversation in the Monegros about the placement. We need to decide this before I come back to Monegros. And three, personally, if I have to vote, I will vote to leave it in the Monegros. So not only for the factor of giving back to the community, but also because in the Monegros we have enough leverage to ask the city hall maybe to give us a truck to move it from nowhere to Castellón, or maybe to move from Boom to Castellón. That community you're talking about, I don't know if they have the resources to help us in do this. But,
so, I mean, for me, it would be more about finding a place where this temple is being taken care of when we are not there. And if there's a community there that makes use of this temple, and if that is Sarajevo or Castellón de Monegros, then I mean I've always been in love with that idea because I think let me finish for a moment. Max, let me finish. Because I totally agree with the work you have been doing for the last few years of connecting with the local community there. I think that is super important work, and I would really love the temple to be supporting this as well. So I think it would be also an ideal idea if they have the opportunity to maintain the temple. So yeah.
Okay, let me answer to that. I agree. I totally agree. At this point, I can say one thing that is very important. We are not doing the placement in Castellón de Monegros because the mayor, she's a bitch, and after all, we're getting a lot of support from Sariñena. If you want the temple to be taken care of, that's Sariñena. Sariñena has a lot of events. Now that I'm coming back, there's going to be Orbea, Transmonegrina, Monegro mountain bike, bike gathering. They have cultural stuff. You remember Pili, the girl who helped us last year?
Yeah.
She's running regular classes of yoga in Sariñena. She started in October, and she will be very happy to maybe give summer classes at the temple. So there's a school. I'm connected to the director of the school of kids, who's a very cool guy. So maybe we can tell them that they can formally use and integrate the temple as a place where to bring the kids for learning experience in the outdoor, especially when it's sunny outside. So if we want the temple to be used by people on regular basis, it is better Sariñena, because the Castellón are just a bunch of very old guys. Sariñena, there's more. And if I think the giving back, after all, Sariñena is offering us the space for building, so it is fair enough that they give back the temple to them. Also, Sariñena is the fucking center of Monegros, and there is a big traffic of people going in and out every day, so it's going to be visible. Castellón is a little village lost in the nothingness, so maybe people have to, venture there to discover it. So I will say yes, I agree on Coco, and I can do everything even easier to place it in Sariñena.
Good.
Can I say Maximo for president, please? Maximo for president.
Yes, Maximo for president.
Let's get rid of Trump.
I like to do the political stuff, and the political liaison with all this.
I have two questions that are completely aligned with this, and I agree with it all. And if I can, I will join you in every endeavor of it, because from the very first moment I experienced the temple in the first year I went to nowhere, I experienced that I wanted to do this, make it possible to show it to other people as well, and that's beautiful. But I'm wondering if the durability is a adventure in it, and if logistics is an adventure in it, or deciding which community it's going to go to. I'm wondering if it is maybe even worth of considering to work with the We Are Dust project, or We Are From Dust project, to see if it can eventually next year end up at the Biennale.
I am very sorry, but I am totally against. I am banning this. This against burning spirit. Let me quickly recap. This is bullshit. This is just an ego trip of a couple of people who wants to get. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Can I please finish my story for a second?
If you ever been to the Biennale of Venice, it's a non-inclusive place.
I know.
Shitload of commercial sponsors, and
but if I were with you, I would have kissed you now.
Starts of the art. Sorry.
I would have kissed you. I am completely at the same level as you, and in that sense, I agree with what you just said. But it is, and how stupid it may sound, the possible issues or complications that the temple would find when we want her in a sustainable way available for multiple communities, is that there's a need of currency. There's a need of a monetary backup that actually makes it possible to do that. And thus far I haven't really seen other projects or organizations offering a sustainable amount of money that could make it possible to bring a temple to multiple places.
Well, like according to the placement, we are requesting to the municipality that they take care, meaning we're going to sign a contract. We're going to give them, because they take the responsibility of maintenance every X time, 2 weeks, a month, or 2 months, whatever it's going to be, and they take charge of permits, of insurance if people get hurt. So, and of course, if this becomes a landmark sculpture installation of their city, they will take care of it. They have a budget for it.
Nice.
Opposite to a community that might be somewhere else, they might have other priorities in spending their money. So yes, sure, the municipality is part of the deal. They take responsibility on maintaining. The transportation, you are also right. If you want to bring this sculpture from a place to another, well, maybe we better like buy a truck. But really, it's going to be expensive. But if we have we just need to take care right now of transportation from Sarignana to site, because as part of the placement deal, the municipality of Castellón, but now Sarignana, we're requesting that we use one of their trucks to take it from nowhere and bring it to the other place. If we are going to Boom, we can negotiate if they're interested in joining us as partner of the Boom venture and offering us the truck. Otherwise, if we're going to Boom, we'll also ask to the Boom organizer if we can count on their logistics. After all, the artists at Boom, they generally get artist fees. They get paid. In the questionnaire that we have to fill, there was a lot of question about how much money we needed. So we didn't ask any money, but yes, we did ask to use the occasional crane, and yes, it would be a good idea if we can use one of their truck for moving it from the Monegros. You know, so we're figuring out about the transportation. That once we finalize the negotiation for the placement, we have a confirmation. Well, not just when we finalize it. The first meeting you're going to have a confirmation that the temple is going to be taken care of, it's going to be maintained, and yes, we're going to have a truck for bringing it back from nowhere. If we decide and we have the resources to go to Boom, and we need to take the temple, store it somewhere, then weeks later bring it to Boom, and then finally bring it to Sarignana, I think there's going to be zero problem from the Ayuntamiento of Sarignana in offering us a place where to stock it while we wait for the placement. Sure, I can bet on it, no problem. So basically, yes, the transportation, but it's all depending on if we get this final confirmation. Closing the design round and also the details about the structure is going to be. This really helped me also closing the deal for the placement, because I can show features, I can talk details of maintenance. One technical thing that has got nothing to, well, it's got to do, power. If we are nowhere, we can plug into power. If we place it in Sarignana, we can plug into power. If you go to Boom, there is no power grid, and installation should be powered by own generators, which is a bitch. But I asked Coco, maybe if we need power, we can do solar panels. That was another point.
You remember the thing I built last year for Wonder River?
Yeah.
The solar panels.
I still have the address and the contact, and this is a guy of the Ministry of Water and what is it, country maintenance or something like that, and they still sell these solar panels for hardly any money. So if we want to do that, then I can still set it up for us, and that is very easily arranged.
Nice.
This is great. You still have all the speakers I gave you last year?
Yeah, well, most of them. They're
we
going
can
to
use
be
we can use it in the temple. I got more.
they're going to be picked up by Wanderever though. That is going to go to the Wanderever site, but we'll figure it out. Don't worry.
We'll figure it out.
Nowadays,
I really like this boat. I really like the solar panels. So meaning that we're not gonna need the power grid and network neither.
no. The only thing is, and that is the other side of it, and that is it has a equal investment as a little generator would have been, and that is something you need to consider because it is a budget-consuming endeavor. What I invested last year at Wanderever were the 2 solar panel boxes, including 310 amperage an hour for 350 euros, and that was excluding the cables and excluding the connectors and everything. So I think that you need to take in consideration that it is maybe a one-time investment, which needs a little bit of maintenance, but at the same time it is.
Consider that we can loan, we can rent it from Lopez. Yeah, he can give us a very good price. He can give us especially if it's a small one.
Well, generator I can take with me. That's no problem. I have a generator, and so that's okay. But if you want to circumvent the generator part and the gasoline part, and you want to go to solar things, then you should maybe think of renting the solar panel installation of Wanderever, and they will probably say yes, so they can earn back their investment, and we can for Boom or any other location take the solar power from them.
Okay, but
Consider.
But won't they need their solar panels themselves during the festival?
Oh, but that's the other thing. I'm now talking only about Boom. If you want to do the entire thing, then you should consider just buying the installation and just make a permanent installation for the temple for the coming years. That will always be there for the temple.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. So, if we use solar panel, if you use a generator at Nowhere or Boom, where the space is going to be used as a sacred space, that's like this fucking noise all the time in the back. And there's the bitch of being always after the level of gasoline and having to go back and forth from Sarignana or from Idagna a Noa to buy more gasoline. You know, that's a bitch. Say it so. Using solar panel is amazing. If we can maybe substitute solar panel to the final point of the dome or have it as a part of the roof, you know, that would be great. But what I want to say, that is not going to work for the public installation in the Monegros, because unfortunately there are some, some theft of this stuff. So when they have tried to do stuff with solar panel, they get stolen. So I have tried to do one installation. I proposed to put a projector. They're going to steal everything. So if we put something in Sarignana and is a charge at the municipality, there is absolutely no problem in plugging the plug into the main and and use it the city electricity, for that. For Boom and for Nowhere, I will be totally for the use of solar panels and possibly no generator for the noise.
I think that maybe it's an idea to look at the 2 different forms of the temple, the transcendent one, the one that actually moves, and the one that finally will be left behind, that will be permanent over there. And ask yourself if you actually want to have a electronical installation within the temple if you leave it permanently behind.
I don't think so.
I think the beauty must be the temple itself, and actually the experience is very nice for when people are constantly there. But just Remco.
Well, like we discussed also last year, if you give the temple a more permanent location where basically anybody can reach us, and it's not a small community of people that we trust, sort of, it's probably better to strip the whole power thing. So then I would opt for having a solution that could become part of temple infrastructure for the upcoming years. Use this for places like Nowhere and Boom, and then basically when it goes to its more permanent location, strip all that requires power and store that for everybody that wants to use power in the upcoming temples.
It's the best solution because then we recycle the panel technology for what?
Yeah, and I think we need a anyway. We will need some form of power during build and also during construction on site. So we won't we won't be able to just not using Jenny at all. But for all the power during the nights, it would be nice to have this solar powered only.
One other thing about solar panel. Since you work for a solar panel company, did you actually talk to them to support our project?
So I can talk. Well, I can talk to them. The funny thing is that they're not actually, in that sense, a solar power like producing solar panels.
But it's just like it's a CSR.
Yeah.
It's like corporate social responsibility, and they're just supporting some Dutch guys.
But for sure, I can ask them if they have if they know that there's leftovers from projects. So I'll do that.
Nice.
So to go into more the design and symbolics of the temple, Dante already started questioning whether having an entrance with someone that is meditating in a sort of a meditation pose basically is violating a sort of a neutrality of the temple space, and I find it interesting to get back to this in this conversation because I heard Wout also make a comment about this. So I'm interested in what you guys think. I already talked this through with Massimo, and he doesn't really mind at all. So what are you guys thinking about this?
You think at Burning Man, the temples, they generally have stuff like that. I remember in the past having temple also surrounded and having like a gate with the gate keepers. I remember another temple, maybe it was that was of course 2011. There were some shrine and people was volunteering to just be a statue inside the shrines, and so I remember Temple 2013 had a Shiva Lingam altar in the middle,
Yeah.
So I think all this stuff we have to. It's a temple, if there's a statue doesn't have to be necessarily a statue of devotion. Can be just like a simple part of the architecture. I mean, it can be inspiring. If it's a temple with a statue of a guy with a gun, that's really out of place. But if it's a guy meditating, I think it's kind of inspiring.
Well, here's the conversation that I had with Remco yesterday. I mean, because you all know I practice yoga, I teach yoga, and I have no problem with the asana, and having somebody meditating. But my thought is, because it's a temple, we know it's what the purpose is. We know that the purpose is to hold a sacred space and to give us a place to go chill when the environment gets too outrageous and we need to go like zone out somewhere and like mellow out, and when we need, to like go and whatever. Okay, so that's understood, and we know. But what I always think about, or what I tend to think about, is like the temples at Burning Man. They have an abstract concept to them. We know that it's the place where you go let go, and it's the place you go chill and meditate and and pray or whatever an individual's spiritual connection or form of devotion or whatever it is. They bring that into the temple. So my thought is, it's almost like we're siding with a philosophy by having a meditating figure there, which I'm not objecting to meditation, because I mean that's something I do. But by having it there, it's almost like, why not have a cross, or why not have a Star of David, or why not have a star and a crescent, or you see what I'm saying? It's like, why are we picking one over something else? And that's kind of where...
Knowing our community, even if you put like a big sign saying this is a strictly meditating place, people is gonna shrug and have sex there anyway.
Of course.
So people
I mean,
they will use the space as they please, and I don't think people is going to be intimidated by, oh, this is place just for sitting exactly in the pose of that statue, otherwise it doesn't work. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to actually like the statue. Somebody's going to even try to fuck it.
no,
Well, I probably.
What are you talking about fucking? I thought you were in your menopause.
last year we found tampons, a horse, a bloody horse, and what else did we find in the beer can? All kinds of, yeah, it was totally, the whole place was desecrated, and we're like, wow, this is a shame. So yeah, I mean, when the hippies get out of control, they get out of control.
No,
so,
we have a problem. We have a problem because we are not really supported by the Nowhere organization in the sense of declaring that as a sacred space. As you know, unfortunately, the Nowhere organization this year dropped the idea of having the temple as a permanent fix with an investment from the organization. So this year we're going to have a temple because we, as a volunteer group, we're going to be, fundraising and putting all our efforts and bringing that to the. But if next year nobody steps up, NORG is not going to create a temple. So for them, there is not really like the communication like Burning Man does. They're not communicating.
Go that route.
They will, of course, communicate to the temple, hopefully, because they didn't last year. But if this year they don't replicate the same bullshit behavior, and they help us also, with our sending out information about our fundraising, saying how cool it is that we're building this shit. But they will treat it pretty much like any other big installation that might come to the playa. They're not really supporting the place as the sacred slice of experience, if you come to Nowhere. But we can create that, and then of course it's still up to the participant if they want to interpret that space as a sacred space or not. We cannot really do much about it.
Can I
Why did they treat? Oh, sorry about.
No, it doesn't matter. I just want to share this, and this is just a thought, but for me it does matter. It does matter that any form or any sign to honoring a god, a certain path, a certain way of practicing that what could be better for us is something that is directing into a direction that the temple does not mean for me. The temple is that place that is completely clear from all these things. That place where I can find for myself a space wherein I'm not necessarily confronted with that what is already existence in the world, but that what I experience at that moment, that what the temple in itself brings to me. And that is how I look at it, and not necessarily I am pro or con, but I would rather see a space buffered of all these signs that could point into a direction of a deityism, of a philosophy, of a religion, or any other form that is already out there, to let the temple be what the temple is.
But I don't think that we got any religion involved or any deity at all. I remember you that the temple is temple of self. So it is a place for self-discovery. It's a place where you discover the God that's within you. I don't think that we really. So we call it spiritual because people use it as a part of the spiritual, path or transformational path. We call it spiritual because we do meditation, Om meditation, yoga, and weddings. But basically, it's not dedicated to any God or any religion. It's
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that at the moment you walk into a statue or a image, it is pointing out into a direction. And for me, I enjoy the walking.
I haven't seen the sculpture.
No. For instance, that was the topic, wasn't it? Did I miss something? I thought the question was.
What's the shape of the sculpture? Because I don't know the shape. Do you guys have seen
it? Meditating with their hands over their head. So you're in Anjali Mudra with your hands over your.
What is it? I haven't seen this.
It's on Facebook.
It's not all around.
I missed it.
But whatever, you know, probably I will be so so not busy with it with that thing over there that I wouldn't even see it. But I just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out about this because I have no idea. That was not part of the pictures you sent me for Boom.
No, because there was a design update.
Oh, this is why I don't know it. Also, okay.
It's in the group in Facebook.
Yeah, I tagged you also in the message, Max. But
Oh, I think I just pressed like from the phone, but I didn't. The
That's
image.
how-
I'm gonna see them right now. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. You keep talking, and I'm figuring out.
Yeah, so I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I have to say now that I'm hearing this, let me start this way. So what we wanted to show is basically an entrance where, when walking through it, you would basically walk into yourself. That was the symbolism. I wanted to stay clear of any religion, but I saw at a specific point meditation as something that is not specifically tied to any religion, but is in a sense tied to something that you could do in a temple. But I do agree that with showing a concrete image, you basically push people towards I don't know, certain behavior or something. And Dante already said maybe you can make the entrance more abstract and use some abstract form of this that doesn't point you towards anything specifically. And now that I hear you guys talking about this, I think I do have to agree that maybe it's better. I found it aesthetically beautiful, and the symbolism of walking into yourself, that was basically the idea about it, not anything specifically tied to what you should do or do not in the temple. But yeah.
Yes, I have to say I'm looking at it right now. I didn't see it before. I put a like on Facebook, but I have to say this is good if we have somebody very, very, very skilled with the hand saw. If you miss and if you go a little bit offline, that silhouette might come out like really shitty. At the end, like the legs might look like two balls and a cock. So, no, really, I like it. But, unless somebody does the job properly, there is like a high probability that the final aesthetics get screwed up because you have to do it by hand, basically, right? Also, it includes some point of danger, like hazard. Like I see the corner made at the end, somebody can scratch themselves, by passing.
Yeah.
There are some spiky corners in that design, but of course that can be rounded. But yes, I like it. But if we want to do something more abstract and maybe more regular, that with like a straight line, we can cut it,
Yeah.
I like it. It was a good idea. Actually, it was a really... But we also have to say that this is a design seen from above. And that this structure, from what I'm seeing, is also got like an angles. So if this thing is cut into a surface that is not plane, but it's like actually makes a corner, it creates like a... it's more complex to obtain the final result in that kind of like the walls. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
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 So
Okay,
it's
good.
the question of perspective at that point can create some kind of perspective. And again, that's the last question, but this is very stupid. So I'm looking at the picture right now, and I'm wondering how is the piece of plywood around the head of that man going to stand? It looks like it's floating into nothingness.
Yeah, that's a that's a very detailed look of you, you little rascal. So the idea was there to maybe use a plate of plexiglass where you can put the wood on. But I think listening to your comments, I agree that it would be better to just go opt for an entrance that is abstract, and it's just whatever people feel at that specific time, whether they feel that they're walking inside themselves or not, that is up to them in that specific moment. So then my question would be, any ideas for a nice looking entrance?
Well, can I say something? I like the second picture I'm putting like right now, because I understand that it's just like a structural view, so there is an entire missing side, so we can see inside.
Yeah.
But what if we leave it open, like this?
Sorry, what did you say? What?
What if we leave it open like this, like in picture number 2, where the two guys are sitting? So consider like not having the entrance on the other side, whether it's the man or an abstract entrance, and we can save a lot of materials, a lot of work, have a more accessible area. Otherwise, it's a closed place with a narrow entrance. Like this, we can give more spatiality. You know, if you're outside, you can see. You can, if you want, you can be in a corner and watch. Being safe, or otherwise you can look out in the outside. So it can be an option, like having a 1/6. This is an hexagon, right?
Yeah.
Having a 1/6 of the structure is the entire entrance.
Yeah.
Remco, would you recap what you were saying when because it dropped just as you started talking, and I totally missed if you were gonna.
Yeah, we're considering not doing any door at all, and like in picture number 2, when the two guys are meditating, we actually take an entire slice, an entire sixth of the structure off, and we leave like a huge open entrance.
Okay.
1/6 or 2 times 1/6 on both sides?
If this is an hexagon plant, should be 1/6, right?
Yeah, but Wout means leaving an opening also on the opposing side.
Oh yeah, we save a lot of money and we make a lot of breeze.
Yeah, it's 2/6.
And we can align it with the sunrise and sunset like last year.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
yes, let's do
beautiful.
that. Let's do it open 2 sides
Amazing.
in line with the sun. I like that.
Hey guys,
Yay!
I think I need to tap out, otherwise they're going to kick me out of the office, and I'm here way too long already.
Thank you for being part of the meeting. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you for doing this awesome job. It looks amazing. I am definitely going to be part of you guys. Let's talk soon. If I
Sure,
can do
man.
anything for you, help think in things or whatsoever, just approach me. And I will be here, Max. I see you in 2 weeks.
About did you get any Spanish cell phone in the meantime?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, why don't you send me like a private message, direct email, so when I am in Spain, I can call you right directly.
You all can have my Spanish number. It's in the chat now, and I thought I sent you my Spanish number already.
Really? I'll check
Yeah,
it out. I'll check it out. Anyway,
check
as
the messages.
soon as I'm in Spain, actually, let's talk before, because if you're coming with me to Valencia, that's gonna happen like next week, right?
Yeah, I know. And how are you gonna? Let's do this. Let's have contact tomorrow.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're gonna eat the time of the meeting now. Okay, cool.
Cheers,
Okay. Hey, lovely, Sam. See you later. Big hugs.
Yeah. Ciao.
Now that I've seen the structure, I have another question about like the coil stair. How do you call that?
Yeah. Uh-huh. The
Is
spiral
that-
staircase.
Spiral stair. Is that safe?
We make it safe.
You know, happy hippies on acid. You know, I see like if it's 6 meter high, it's like a big hazard.
Yeah, but it's not 6 meters high to the next floor. Like that's 2.5 meters or something.
Okay. Yeah, but if the hippie falls from 2 meters, you can break
Yeah.
it anyway.
But if Hippie jumps down from Burning Man Temple that's 2 stories high,
Oh.
and yeah, it's yeah, there's always something to say about this.
I know.
People should not shoot themselves in the foot, right?
I just downloaded the picture, so I have no computer.
But I mean, I think like anything that we build, we'll make it safe. So this is a conceptual design. We'll go over it when it comes to more structural design, also how to get it safely out there. So
Hey,
I wanted to get back to so
Hello?
you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah, can I put something out there before? Is Tristan our engineer? Do we have a different engineer? Well, the point is being, whoever is our engineer and goes over our plans, can we make sure that they get it right on the first time, and then we don't have to make it a Temple of Patchwork 2 this year? Because last year we almost had it on the first go, and then all of a sudden, wait, these columns aren't going to hold up. And I remember Pev, oh, here, you need to cut this again. You need to cut this again. So 6 cuts later, you know, what could have been a flawless design became like a jigsaw puzzle. So if we could maybe learn from that one, and whoever our engineer is, just make sure that they get it, like, hey, this is the width, this is with the structure, this is exactly what you need, so we can just go in, one go, get it done, and then have a proper calibration before we turn it over. That would be fantastic.
Yeah. I have another point.
Let me, Max, let me respond first to Dante. So, like I told you, Jim is a very experienced builder, and also I think the design of the temple itself is far less complicated. Like last year, the complication was getting all the plywood on there to make the angles look like nice, to make the spires look very nice, and also the puzzles that we had to do, making all these columns and making it fit together. I think that's less of an issue in this year's temple. So I think we should be fine on that respect. So Max, back to you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Max?
Yeah. About the base, the platform. Do we really need to have it elevated on a platform? Like because that's going to be a lot of work in terms of a lot of materials first.
Yeah.
Second, the material must be even, so we need to work below, a lot of other, the wood below, just not to make it rambling when people stop on that. And after all, what if this structure, as we see it, is actually standing on the floor? And maybe the only one base that we can make, like last year, is the round base in the middle where the stairs starts. So what if we consider the ground? It's going to be actually easier even in terms of anchorage, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
Yep.
Because I think it has a lot of material in the first place, a lot of plywood, 10 meters diameters, we said. It's a lot of material. And a lot of work. And it's not said that it's going to be look nice, beautiful, like in the design. And at the end, hippies can sit on the floor. They don't
That's
care.
true.
There's the mezzanine where we can put pillows up there. We can make it more comfortable. Like people are gonna fuck up there for sure, like Malacca. But yeah, it's just one other input on the design. And then if we want to make the columns interactive, means that we have to put inside some technology with wood and cables passing through, and maybe tiny speakers inside. So I see the columns more being composed by 4, block, having a hole inside. So having a column of 4 pieces of wood, on the 2 sides, actually, at that point, why not having for maximum stability? Maybe we can use some metal, recycled metal poles that are inside the wood, and just the wood just covers the poles and contains the cables, the stuff that pass carrying electricity and lead and stuff. You know, we can hide all that inside the columns.
Why not sort of use the speakers that you need and the whole sound system as something that is a nice decoration, that is a decorative piece?
Oh, we can do that, but if we want people to have proximity cells and touch columns to emit sounds inside the columns, there must be some stuff, you know. So a little piece of Arduino, cables passing through. So wherever we put the speakers, whether if they're visible or not, then we have the need to put it. And then even if we don't make the column sing, if we have LED and lights and solar panels, and we must have cables that pass through the place. Making them pass inside a four things column, you know, can be a good idea.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you're now making a much more complex structure just to work away a couple of cables.
No, but
because instead of using just one good piece of wood and connecting these together, which is a very rigid structure, you're going to sort of combine pieces of wood to create an opening in the middle where you can.
You're right. It's more work. You're right. It's more work. But if we are going to do that touch and play with sounds, where do you think we're going to do it? So where is there a place where we can then hide the technology for the proximity interaction? It's like
or instead of hiding, use it as a piece of decoration.
No, man. Yeah, because it's nice to be a discovery thing. Otherwise, if you already know, press this button, it doesn't really. I mean, it's not nice. And then I know that, especially the thing that I just said to vote, having like the chime column with 7 notes, the gong column with 7 notes, that's a lot of sensors and a lot of cables and separate Arduino controllers, all those connected to the solar panels. That's a lot of cables. It will be shit. So either the stuff is hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
And the cables are inside, or it just really can deteriorate completely the aesthetics.
How thick are the cables?
Well, like a worst-case scenario, we can do it in the central pole. So the central pole, the one that runs around, that the stair runs around, I bet that people would hold to the pole while going up. So if we have just the center pole with different sound according to the different point you touch it, basically people would play while they go up. And we can concentrate all the sound technology only in the center pole.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a wonderful idea. And yeah.
Yeah. So if the pole now is considered to be just a pole, maybe we can have the pole and then considering to covering it up for just that pole, so that we have a buffer space in the middle where to put all the technology, but still the center pole hold the structure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Nice, nice. Good. Also, like it's better like this. Also because like all those cables disseminated around, that is better to concentrate on one thing. And I like the thing that you keep going up or down, and you hold to the pole, and by holding, you're triggering different sounds.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It is very cool. Like it.
Also, this is stupid, but let me ask you. So as I see the design, once you keep walking on the stair. Where the fuck is the exit on the first floor?
Don't you see the opening?
No.
There's an opening.
My God. Oh, that tiny thing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's also the way
I will not
the image
fit.
is taken.
I will not fit because I'm fat. But also other people, like Barkeep, is not going to fit.
So we make it wider.
No, I really like it. I really like it.
Good.
I really like
all right.
it.
Yeah.
And,
So.
Hey, I've got a thought on the steps. Are we going to build the stairwell ourselves, or do we just want to buy a spiral staircase?
That's a good idea. I think both options are open at this time.
Upgrade them, see what makes more sense.
What will we find one in a scrap place? Because I'm sure we find it. An old one.
Because that would save us a good amount of time, and it'd probably be sturdier.
I do agree.
I can look for it in the Monegros. I can probably find it. You know, if there's somebody who's got like thrown somewhere in a warehouse. Some people, there's a lot of people who go like all this. And I can also ask Pipiri Mosca, permaculture place, because they also have shitloads of materials. Let's see if I can, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's see if we can find us, ready-made in metal, solid,
Solid.
That would be lovely. Solid. And then,
That'll be safe.
Yeah, I agree.
No, because also this design is nice, but I see also, like, now that I zoomed in to see the opening, I see also a little bit of danger in not only hippies falling down the stairs, but also the possibility that if you walk too external, you may actually break it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't look like there's got enough old. I mean, it's not cemented in that pole, right? The stuff.
No,
So
I guess it would be best if it's just metal.
I think metal would be cool, because we can always paint the metal.
Yeah.
Or
I can also say that if we cannot find a staircase, and if you want it to be in metal, we can build it in Alcubierre, because as part of the network of the resources that I found, there's a welding place.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they have all the equipment, so we cannot do it in Sarignana, but it's just 30 kilometers away. And as we did last year with the fabric, we're gonna have a team going, to work on the staircase.
yes.
So what's the name of this place again, Max?
Oh, Alcubierre, which is the mayor is a very good friend of mine. So is the cultural attaché. The cultural attaché is the owner of the welding place, and I'm working with them because I'm going to do an installation in the trenches of George Orwell, and it's in the territory of Alcubierre. So they already gave me all the permits. They love me. I supported them because when I went to plant trees, it was an initiative by the guy who has the welding place. So I went to help him a couple of times. He really loves me. So he told me, like, if you have any artists who needs to do some metal work, they can come here. We use our space and our tools, so we can do that.
Nice. Love it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Right.
Is there anything else, Dante? Or Ilse, maybe?
No, I'm good, man. Ilse, any thoughts?
No, now that I see, if the design is like a front and end is open, possibility that the stair is pre-made, or maybe we weld it so it's metal and solid, and interactive technology concentrated in the central pole. If we eliminate also the base, so to save money and work, and I think it's all good. Maybe the possibility of use T-connectors, metal connectors.
Yeah, we can do that work in Amsterdam.
Since we're already using metal, so maybe we can use it elsewhere. I will make, once we have unveiled the design without the base, maybe we should put ourselves more questions about anchorage.
Yeah, what do you mean with anchorage? Like anchoring it in the ground?
In the ground, because when one pole goes down in the ground, you use the auger tool, make a hole, and then put the pole in. But if you have two poles going in the ground at the same point on a V, it means that one is being cut, the other one goes in, but with an angle. So we have to really think about the solidity, especially because there is an upper floor and people is going up, so the structure must hold.
Yeah.
You don't want to have casualties.
Nope. Nope.
No, but I love it. I really love it.
Cool. Beautiful. I'm gonna update the temple design based on your input.
Also,
So,
the lighting. What are we using as a lighting? Because lighting makes everything different. Because if we had something that to make holes with a driller and then put an LED inside, we would have had that see-through effect. Now, what are we doing? Are we placing L-wire around the main lines? Are we using spotlight lights? Where are going to be placed? So it really changed a lot, especially at night, of course. But we're going to have like internal little lights, maybe using the upper floor, having a tiny L-wire going just around at the ground floor where people are sitting.
that's a possibility. So we also still have the lighting that was used last year. So those 6 sort of small floodlights that were on top of the temple, we still have them. So that's a possibility as well.
Let's reuse it. Also, please make sure that if Wout will be with us right now, we'll say that thing. Make sure that to calculate how much light we're using was the total consumption, including the technology for the Arduino and speakers, so we know then how to calibrate with solar panel.
Yeah. Make sure we have enough power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree.
I love it. I just love it. Okay, in case you haven't done it, Dante, I don't remember if you signed the
Dante lost his connection again.
Oh, sorry, I was watching the.
Oh, I agree. Dante, there is back.
Ada, did you sign up at the volunteer sign sheet?
No, the call completely glitched out. It was just doing this really funny echo, and I'm like, hey, we're going to cut out because we can't hear anything.
I don't know. Maybe you two guys, you and Ilse, did you sign up at the volunteer sign up sheet?
Yeah, Dante did.
Yeah, Dante did, but Ilse didn't. So let's make sure that we start figuring out about people also, because now is about time that, especially if we're, finalizing things, we really gotta think about the manpower.
Yeah, so we also need to fix a ticket for Mr. Pez.
We need to fix what?
A ticket for Mr. Pez. He wants to come as well.
Ilse needs a ticket.
He doesn't have. Ilse also needs a ticket?
Does everybody has a ticket?
I have a ticket.
You have a ticket. I have a ticket too. Dante, do you have a ticket? To nowhere. It froze again.
Yes. She's on.
Oh man, you break up a lot. Okay, I don't know if Dante is listening to this.
I will ask him over chat.
I have two tickets, but I really cannot give it to everybody because it's one of the local tickets. So the ticket department of Nowhere, they allow me to buy 2 tickets only if the second one was not given to somebody who doesn't live in the Monegros. So the idea why I bought 2 tickets is that maybe while we are building, I will get some young guy from Sardinia involved, like
last year.
Last year.
Yeah. So if we have somebody local who
Yeah,
come work with us, and then I gift him my second ticket to that guy. You know?
Yeah, that's a beautiful idea. I love it.
Yep.
Then we have space for that happening as well, and that's sort of an intention being set right now. So
No, because I'm sure we'll be there building, and they're gonna be like the guys strolling by. You know, if somebody really is interested, want to join and work with us, it's also fair to give him a ticket, and
Yeah.
I have that. So I have just one, but I think it works.
So Dante, we were just losing contact with you. You have a ticket, but Ilse doesn't. Did we understand correct?
Is on the waiting list.
Okay. Okay.
So
Well, we'll keep our eyes open.
hopefully it'll clear up. Yeah, something will come up. Something always comes up.
Of course,
Yeah.
it will fix itself.
I like the new color of Ilse hair.
Oh,
Because I remember it was white, and now it's got this greenish glare.
it was actually, yeah, now it's kind of fading into greenish, but it was more like a cotton baby blue, kind of cotton candy blue. Almost, yeah.
Good, it's good. You look good
Candy
too.
Girl.
Gotta
You
touch
look
it up.
really good.
Thank you.
Colorful people.
Colorful characters.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Yes,
For real.
definitely. Have a good night, guys. Good seeing you, Massimo.
When is the next step? Are we going to have? So you're going to go back to the guys for the design.
Yeah.
And so we wait for that. We wait for Boom to give us feedback, and we're also waiting to finalize a little bit the budget. But this depends on the build and on the materials. I suggest we include in the budget some T-shirt for the build crew, for the temple crew, and maybe something, maybe bandanas like they do at Burning Man for the temple guardians. It is nice if people volunteer and they have something that reminds that moment and stays with you. And being also all together, working all with in Sarignana with the T-shirt, temple crew, it's like DPW. It's like branding ourselves, and we can get it with very little expenses. You know, we're not gonna need.
Yeah, I agree.
And also about expenses for the budget. Maybe we should consider also something for the build, you know, in terms of having a budget for buying food for everybody and stuff like that. You know, of course we can put money together, but if we can have maybe a couple of €100 to support that expensive, you know, during build,
Yeah.
that would be nice too.
Yeah, it would be nice. I put it in the documentation in my notes as an option because I think I'm not sure if there's enough space for this in a budget. You know.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out because I am also very confident in the fundraising. If we can communicate this in a very emotional way, very powerful way, everybody I know is going to contribute to the temple, especially.
Yeah.
So let's make it happen. Let's see. Of course, we're going to ask €15,000, but if we make it reasonable, and if we make it reasonable, certainly a couple of €100 for the T-shirt and stuff, or a couple of €100 for food for building volunteers. This is not going to really impact that much.
No,
you know?
No, it's true. It's true. So a lot of good feedback.
It's always you and me at the end.
Yeah, I know. And it's always you talking like crazy. But I love how sharp you are. You know, with all these different things happening at the same time. It's like tak, 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 tak.
Because I have like 25 years of experience of being a project manager and being in the middle of storms of input, and I have to coordinate everything. So I have this also, you know, schizophrenia thing.
Oh really? Oh really?
Coordinate all this bullshit. It's like being an autist, you know, autist, but in a good way.
Love it. I think so. Let me cut the broadcast for now. I think we're done. So anybody that has listened until now, you're great. I love you. So I'm cutting the broadcast. Goodbye.
Ciao. Let's speak soon.
And